Welcome to Wow Wednesday. Our wisdom nuggets for today is from the sinking ships. Let's enter the marine world. We've had and picked principles from the Titanic, the best of the best. The owner had proclaimed that even God cannot sink it. It was unsinkable, Foster said. Titanic's legacy is that of fascination with disaster. The unsinkable sank with the best of the best in it. In 1820, and this is a true story, a man by the name Peter Ridgely set sail from England to Australia. This would unlock one of the greatest historic records of endurance that history has ever recorded. It was the strangest survival story ever told in human records. Peter Ridgely got on a ship to sail from England to Australia. The ship encountered a problem and began to sink. It went under and everyone perished apart from Peter Ridgely. While he was floating in the sea, another ship came and rescued him. But just for a day, the second ship sank as well, and he survived. A third ship came and picked him up, but it also went under, and only Peter Ridgely survived. A fourth ship came and picked him up, and lo and behold, it also sank. The question is Peter Ridgely sinking these ships? No, he wasn't. A fifth ship came and picked him up because he's the only one who had survived the shipwreck. And wait a minute, the fifth ship sank as well. Finally, the sixth ship picked him up. It was called the City of Leeds. Peter Ridgely was brought on board, cleaned him up, and they fed him. He told them of this extraordinary story of being shipwrecked and saved over and over again. As they got closer to the port of Sydney, the captain of the boat came and requested, "Peter, would you do me a favor?" And he said, "Yes, I owe you my life. I will do anything you ask." On this ship, there's a woman that's been here since the beginning. She became like a mother to all of us, and everybody loves her. She knows all of us and our faces. A while back, she became very, very ill, and she has one request that she continuously makes. "Oh God, I beg you, let me see my son one more time. Let me live to see my son one more time." She has, because of this request, and she's familiar with all of us, we are kindly asking you to pretend to be the son so that she can fulfill her desire. She's been in and out of consciousness and is now on her deathbed. Peter Ridgely agreed. Lo and behold, Peter Ridgely walked in and saw the face of Sarah Ridgely, his mother, who he had not seen in 10 years, and he burst into tears. What is the moral of this story? There is not a storm in this world, not any obstacle too big that if somebody can reach out through spirit-led prayers, that they will not bring about a life-changing miracle. This is the story of the power of a praying mother, her faith, shipwreck, and the hand of God. Wow, woman, are you praying for your children's safety from shipwrecks and the storms of life? Hi, Susan here, the Extra Edge Coach. Today, we are featuring the Way of Wisdom series, the portrait of Jochebed. Her story is that of a woman with bold faith that changed a nation. She played a minor role in the Bible, but with a major impact, a game changer who is recognized in the Hall of Fame. She is noted among the heroes of faith in Hebrews 11:23. Jochebed, her name means the Lord is glory. Yahweh is glory. The first person in the Bible to have a name with a divine element. Jochebed is a shortened form of Yahweh. She was a daughter of Levi, born among the Levites in the Egyptian land. Her husband was Amram of the Levitical clan. Her narrative is featured in Exodus 2, Exodus 6, and Hebrews 11:23. Her character is portrayed as that of a wise woman who was righteous and God-fearing. Jochebed was Shiphrah, one of the Hebrew midwives who saved the newborn babies from Pharaoh's royal decree to kill all newborn baby boys who were of Hebrew origin. By merit of her good deeds, she gave birth to 3 leaders of the Exodus generation, and that is Aaron, Miriam, and Moses. This is Jochebed's historical dilemma. Israelites were so numerous that the pharaohs feared that one day they might welcome an invading army and betray the nation from within. The Egyptians therefore tightened the grip, enslaving the Israelites, and Pharaoh pronounced an even greater command to murder each Hebrew male child emerging from the womb. The Hebrew midwives feared God more than the king and refused to execute his orders, claiming that Hebrew women were stronger than the Egyptian women and they gave birth before the midwives arrived. This gave birth to the genocide because Pharaoh commanded for a search out and smother out every newborn male into the waters of the Nile. Jochebed could hear the screams of the mothers as their children were being torn from them and thrown into the Nile. Jochebed was a strategic thinker. Jochebed, the courageous woman, she gave birth to a male child and hid him for 3 months. When she could hide him no longer, she built an ark of safety and positioned the baby in the Nile just in time for Pharaoh's daughter to gain visibility of the baby as she came to birth in the line. Miriam had been strategically positioned, and she requested the daughter of Pharaoh if she would find a nanny for the baby, since Pharaoh's daughter was moved with compassion and wanted to adopt the baby, which was of Hebrew origin, as her very own. Lo and behold, the caregiver was none other than the mother of the child, Jochebed. The princess was to pay her royal dues to watch over the baby and nurse him. Pharaoh's daughter, the princess, named the baby Moses. I drew him out of water. What lessons can we draw from Jochebed, the marvelous mother of Moses? Number 1, in the presence of human evil, the ongoing genocide of murdering the male child, she chose faith over fear. Jochebed rejected fear to unleash God's plan, and God orchestrated events around her efforts. She did her part and God did his. Wow, woman. Don't put life on a pause. Press play against all odds. Don't give up on God. He is able to do what he said he would do. In this case, exceedingly abundantly beyond our expectation. Jochebed is the unsung hero. She brought forth 3 goat leaders, type A leaders. Her womb was blessed. Moses was the deliverer, responsible for receiving the 10 commandments from Yahweh. He is responsible for leading the Israelites out of slavery and parting the Red Sea to let them escape from the Egyptians. And the Egyptians who pursued them drowned in their own Red Sea. He led the nation out of captivity. Aaron was the high priest, a Levite. He had a courageous, faith-filled relationship with God. Aaron was bold, eloquent speaker, loyal and supportive. Miriam was courageous and bold. Remember, she was strategically positioned and she helped deliver Moses from the Nile. She courageously gave a solution to the princess and it was hearkened to. She led the women in singing the song of the sea, dancing and playing drums after crossing the Red Sea. What kind of a woman was Miriam? A prophetess, the first female to be named such. Martyrs like Jochebed, be a woman of faith, a woman of action, and a woman of surrender. What is our take home from today's lesson? Our greatest lesson is that of the power of a praying mother. A praying mother is more precious and valuable than all the riches in the world. Mothers pray before their children are born, during their childhood years, and continue praying until God calls them to glory. I am convinced that no one knows more about the power of prayer than mothers. My mother's prayers shaped me in more ways than I will ever know. There is an adage that says, fortune favors the bold, which means that most big wins come with a certain amount of risk. Jochebed had no guarantee that leaving Moses by the riverbank would save his life. Our desires come with both risks and rewards. Wow, woman, the worst scenario can become the best scenario. Wow, woman, let's not be frozen by fear and let's not be paralyzed by fear. Take a step of faith. Let go and let God. Wow, woman. Woman of worth, you are worth it. Your worth is far above rubies. Put your mind on a VIP mode. It's your red carpet moment. Don't settle for less. Don't settle for safe. Get up, get over it, and move on. Remember, your purpose is your superpower.